Hey comic fans, welcome back to the Comic Fix, episode 36.2. In today's video, I'm going to start things off with Batman, The Dark Knight, issue number 17. Greg Hurwitz. You probably have all heard me talk about him before. He's a guy who is taking these B-list Batman villains and reinventing them in the New 52. Now with the last issue, we got the reintroduction to the Mad Hatter. Now, in this issue, as you can see from this beautiful cover by Ethan Van Sciver, just beautiful, that you're in for a trippy ride. You're going down a ride that just reminds you of Wonderland and all the madness that goes along with it. Ethan Van Sciver's art in here is so beautiful. It grabs what Greg Hurwitz is trying to do in the story and just reveling in it. It's a story where just everything is really crazy and really different. And if the artwork does not work in this issue would fall to pieces. In here is the storyline of the Mad Hatter, and we get his origin story with what he is doing in the present and what he is doing to little kids. Now, there's one thing that I've been noticing in Greg Hurwitz's run, is that he has been having scenes in there with children in peril. A lot of times nowadays in comics don't want to really go there because they know that their demographic is the child. And if a child read a book where they were in danger or they were being taken by an adult, do you think that they would be a little bit scared to read this book or feel that this book is just not for them? That's what you get the sense in here. This is a darker Batman, but in a world that's just crazy. It sometimes has a feel of something that you would see out of a Tim Burton movie. That's the feel that I got for this whole entire book. I absolutely love this issue. This issue has so much style to it. And with the artwork of Ethan Van Sciver, it just enriches the story that much more. If you're looking for a Batman that's really different from anything from Scott Snyder to what is happening in Detective Comics, look no further than Batman the Dark Knight. But know that you don't have to read this story, because this story right here, this book, does not feel like it's in the New 52. It feels like it's something just completely different, and it's Greg Hurwitz just going crazy with the story. So if you want something a little different, look no further than Batman the Dark Knight, issue number 17. And I'm going to give Batman the Dark Knight issue number 17 a big old thumbs up, but not yet is it Hall or David Lee approved, just because there are certain points in there where the dialogue just seems like it goes on forever. But there's just those scenes in there that you just start to really love, especially in the art department. So Batman the Dark Knight issue number 17 gets a big old thumbs up. One of the bad things about being in the big two is that usually you don't get a book where a writer and an artist has full control of the book and they can do whatever they want. And sometimes when a book is just in the right place at the right time. And right now is the right place for this book, and that is Hawkeye, issue number 8. This book is so original, and so fresh, and so new, that each time you get an issue, you don't know where the story's going to go next. Now in here, we get a Valentine's Day issue, but with a twist. There's one of the great things that with Matt Fraction and David Aja, the best thing that they do is how they work together. And they have every single panel meaning something. This issue right here reminds me a lot of the issue where you had the Boomerang Arrow issue. That issue was a book where the whole plot line begins at one point and comes back at that point in the end. It was a very interesting look at the way a story can be told. And that's what you have here. You have throughout the story David Aja doing multiple covers. You have one cover right here, which is so awesome. And then the next page you go on, it's basically going chapter by chapter. And each time with a new chapter, you get a new awesome looking cover. And there's a meaning behind it. Now, Frank the Comic Noob, he reviewed this book, and he said that the book didn't feel like it was going anyplace. Well, this issue is still continuing the story with the Kingpin and how Hawkeye messed these guys up and stole all their money. It's still continuing on the story, and this book feels unique. And Frank, I would say go back and go pick up this issue right here, and you'll be getting more of the ongoing story that's going along with it. And I like how this book, being a Valentine's Day special, can feel like something special. I mean, there's nothing like this in any other comic in the big two. So if you're looking for something unique and different, look no further than Hawkeye. Hawkeye is only $2.99 and is by far one of the best pieces of work that you can get out of the big two. And it feels fresh and new. So in the end, Hawkeye issue number 8, guess what? Every single other Hawkeye issue has gotten up to this point a big old thumbs up and being David Lee approved. And this is a David Lee approved that I know there's something special here. So everyone, go and pick this issue up. So in the end, Hawkeye issue number 8, big thumbs up with a David Lee approved. The next book I'm going to be reviewing is Red Lanterns issue number 17. Now, if you are a person who enjoys artwork and just gets engrossed by a great artist, look no further than what Miguel Sepulveda does in the issue number 17. The scope of his work is so magnificent. He has this way of just making everything just feel so epic. And it feels like a giant Michael Bay movie. Comics, you want everything to be bigger and just meaner. And that's what you get in this artwork. This artwork here is freaking beautiful. And now with the Red Lanterns, you have Atrocitus going in and attacking the Guardians by their weakest points, by the point where they have all their emotions stored. And it's interesting to see how Atrocitus is dealing with this attack. I love the Manhunters in here. The Manhunters have been revamped in the New 52. It's interesting to see how Atrocitus is basically taking their mind and has put them against the Guardians. This issue is really ramping everything up in Peter Milligan's run. Now, Peter Milligan's run is about to end, and Joshua Hale Falkov, if you haven't heard that name, just know that this guy is something special. He's the guy who's writing I, Vampire and has been doing some freaking awesome job. And after the events of Wrath of the First Lantern, he's going to be coming on to Red Lanterns and Green Lantern Corps, and that's going to be freaking awesome. But Peter Milligan is taking his 18-issue or 19-issue run, and he is basically just going full force with Atrocitus. And it's so awesome to see how big of a scope this book has become. This book was once just a laughingstock in the New 52. But with Miguel Sepulveda's artwork and Peter Milligan's writing and just the way he portrays Atrocitus is awesome. The only weakness of this book really is when you're getting on to the other Red Lanterns. The other Red Lanterns I feel are not as developed as we have Atrocitus. But if you're a person who just loves the big action sequences and loves beautiful artwork, look no further than the Red Lanterns, issue number 17. And the final verdict for Red Lanterns is a thumbs up. And maybe, just maybe, after Peter Milligan's run, I can go back and read the whole entire thing and see how much better he's gotten through the issues. So, in the end, Red Lanterns issue number 17 gets a big old thumbs up. If you're one of those people that was so disappointed with the cancellation of Frankenstein Agent of Shade, and you thought, where, oh where am I going to get my Frankenstein fix? Look no further than Justice League Dark, issue number 17. Now the story that Jeff Lemire has been telling is basically a story which you've heard before, but in a little different switch. It is magic versus science. And in this world that we have the Justice League Dark in, this dimension, those two are at war. Now Timothy Hunter is a wizard that was prophesized in this dimension to be the savior for the magic wielders. And now we got the Justice League being held captive by the science people. And who's to save the day? Not Timothy Hunter, not Constantine, but it is Frankenstein. Frankenstein goes center stage in this book, and it's so refreshing to see this character who has started out as a Jeff Lemire's baby back when the New 52 started, and see him back in Jeff Lemire's hands. This issue was awesome. And one of those things I really have enjoyed with this whole entire series as a whole has been the artwork. The artwork and the coloring has been just spectacular. There's just a sense of wonder in this comic. And I love how the depiction of magic is in the DC world. Is that when a comic like Justice League Dark has a huge difference from a regular Justice League book to a Superman, just has a little different style to it. And you may be wondering to yourself, why did they call it Justice League Dark? Well, the thing is that this is basically the Justice League team of the dark side of the DC Comics. These are the underground people. If you like a story that is epic in scope, but has a weight of freshness to it, and it doesn't seem like something you've kind of seen before, look no further than this book. This book has something that's for everybody. The only negative I can see about this book, if someone came and jumped on this issue, they'll see a different little look at Constantine in this dimension. Because it kind of is messed up with a bunch of the characters that we know. Black Orchid is now basically looking like something out of Swamp Thing. And then you got Constantine, who I'm trying to say that just like how the Europeans do with Constantine, instead of Constantine that we do say in the United States, is that it's just a different look at Constantine right now. Right now, he cannot lie. He cannot be the arrogant son of a bitch that we all know and love. I really dig this comic. This comic has so much personality from the artwork to the writing. And I love the depiction of Frankenstein. And if you're a person who is wondering, who's an underdog in DC Comics? Who's a person who doesn't get all that much hype, but is always ran so well? It looked no further than Frankenstein. Frankenstein is one of my favorite characters in the New 52. He's so original, in his series, before it got canceled, was one of the best in the New 52. And I'm really sad when I saw that book get canceled, and just like how saw I, Vampire get canceled, it was just like, these two books were awesome, but to see them get canceled was just sad. But the one thing that DC Comics has said is that when a book is canceled, that's not it for that character. They're going to be moving to other books. So we have Constantine in this book, and it's just so refreshing to see Jeff Lemire writing this character once again. And we're also going to see Amethyst in this book coming up after her book has been canceled. So Justice League Dark, issue number 17, gives the score that I've been giving it since Jeff Lemire came on. And that's a big thumbs up with a huge David Lee approved.